Hiya, welcome back to Green Hill Gaming, where I share my passion of video games with the whole wide world. In this live stream, it's 8-bit Sonic fun with Sonic Drift on the Game Gear on Sonic Origins Plus. 2 games in one, basically. I'm playing the Sega Game Gear version of Sonic Drift on Sonic Origins Plus. So yeah, and also 2 consoles, because Sonic Drift on the Game Gear on the PS5. Let's sit back, relax, but as always, and more importantly, enjoy the live stream. So I think I actually played Sonic Drift a couple of months back, actually, in Sonic Gems Collection on the PS2. It's basically like one of the many Sonic collections that Sega released over the years, and I think though that I think that was the Master System version of Sonic Drift. But to be quite honest, I actually can't remember. It's been a while. It mightn't even have been Sonic Drift, actually. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. It's nice though. It's nice to be playing some like Game Gear / Master System Sonic games, because the only real Master System Sonic game that I played was the original Sonic. That was one of my first video games. So yeah, it's nice to get stuck into some more 8-bit Sonic the Hedgehog. So yeah, Sonic Drift. This title was originally released only in Japan, and is the first in a long line of racing games for the Blue Hedgehog. So yeah, this would be pretty much, therefore this would have been like the birth of Sonic racing games. So you can play as either Sonic, Tails, Amy. It's Dr. Robotnik. Come on, no, like. Each with their own unique abilities and vehicles. Quick look at the controls there for a sec. I definitely did not play this. I think the one I played was where it was like the Flintstones, without the cars, without the vehicles. It was literally just Sonic running around. But I'm pretty sure that was called Sonic Drift though. Doesn't matter. My weird Mandela effect memory doesn't matter. They're using left and right. It's a bit complicated. Yoke, obviously. Drift then, turning by holding down X and circle. I think you have to press them all together. Accelerate then by pressing circle. Oh, that's really confusing now. Because you'd be more inclined to press X to accelerate and circle to brake. So it's the opposite. That's going to confuse me. Then start and pause with triangle. Give up free run. Why do you want to give up free run? Doesn't make any sense. Well, hello, Buckaroo. Welcome back to Green Hill Gaming. How are we getting on? Welcome to my Sonic Origins Plus live stream, where I'm playing the Game Gear version of Sonic Drift. So yeah, hope that you enjoy the live stream, as always. Oh, there's more. Wait a second. Activate special powers by pressing up. Okay. So this is basically like Sega's answer to Mario Kart. So circle to accelerate and X to brake. That's so confusing. Obviously steer left and right, and then to drift you press down circle and X, and up to use special. Okay, got it. This is my first time playing, or at least I think it is anyway, Sonic Drift. Is definitely the first time I played a Game Gear version anyway, at least. Why does Sonic look bigger than the actual car? Strange. Where's the start button? Oh, triangle. Mode Chaos. Chaos is it? That hand is scaring me. The one on the right hand side. Free run. I'm going to do free run. Actually, no, I'll have a look at the options first. Sound. I miss the days where you could go into the options of a game and just listen to the entire soundtrack. Nowadays you have to like purchase a deluxe edition of the game to get access to the soundtrack. That's not even a lie, that's the truth, like. That's the truth, like. Tune. Let's take the normal. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. This is how we did things back in the 90s. Zoomers. No easy. Is that a normal, hard? Or go back and colour in your colouring book. I actually miss colouring books. Right, free run all the way. It says, free run. Run, free run. Ah! Pleasantly surprised by this game. So, you can choose Green Hill, Marble, which is obviously a Marble Zone, Spring Yard Zone, Labyrinth, Starlight, Scrap Brain. Oh man, this is fantastic. I'm going to do I'll just start with the start. Start with the start. Do you hear me? Green Hill, yeah. And so the courses. Huh? Well, that's just to get information about it, is it? Okay. Driver. Damn, I went out. I went out. Oh, there we go. So as you can see, you can play as Sonic. He was hardly called Eggman back then. Come off the stage, no. They edited that in just to piss me off. I don't believe it. He was no way. Oh no, he was actually. He was called Japan. Oh, he was called Japan. Jesus Christ, man, it's way too late for me. He was called Eggman in the Japanese version. See, this game was only released in Japan originally. That's what it is. Well, it's always Robotnik. Why does he look like the baby Robotnik that's in Sonic Prime on Netflix? Tails or Amy. I'm going to have to go as Robotnik. There's not many opportunities where you get to actually play as Robotnik. So, it's Robotnik all the way. But like, see where it says course, like, I seem to be only getting information on the course instead of actually selecting it. I know moving right to left doesn't do anything, in case you're wondering. I know it looks like you can actually move left and right to select the courses, but you actually can't. You can only move up and down. So then when you go into it, it just tells you, oh no, what? What's that about? Red? What's that about? Red, green, yellow. Oh, these are like different. Oh, I get it now. Well, let's just stick. Well, that means you can have green hill, yellow hill, or red hill. I'm going to go with green anyway. Alright, green hill, green hill, green hill. Wait, what does this say? I don't actually. I seen footage of this game before I started it, and you can clearly see Sonic driving in a vehicle. What did you say run? Because I remember when I started the live stream, I said I played. I thought, I mean, that's gonna wreck my head. What's the one on the Sega Saturn? Actually, I think that's the one I played. Where you were actually like running, you weren't in a vehicle, you were actually running on the ground. Anyway, let's run. Oh my god, he's going so slow. Oh, this is free run, I forgot, so I'm actually not... Good lord above. Oh my days. You can barely see the corner. Do you know what? No, I'm better off looking at the map on the top of the screen. Because I can actually see more of the track by looking at the map than the actual track. Surely that can't be right, like. Surely there's something wrong there, like. Oh my god. Game Gear games, they're hit and miss, to be honest with you. And hello, how do you do? Valentine's Eve, it's been a while. How are you getting on? Welcome to Green Hill Gaming. Welcome to my Sonic Origins Plus live stream, where I'm playing the Sega Game Gear version of Sonic Drift. I suppose right now I'm just kind of getting used to the game. So that is actually Green Hill Zone in the background. And it really is just that, the background. It's more of a background than a stage, really, isn't it? Look at him, he's so happy. Happy Botnik. I'll do a few more runs. I'm going to try to use drifting in the future. But the thing is, I can barely see, like, when you're turning. Oh, there we go. What the hell happened there? Oh, now we're getting to that. So you kind of have to pay attention to the hours, because they just don't really hang around too long, do they? I seem to be doing a lot of crashing this time around. What the hell is going on there? Did I just crash into a coin? Or a coin? I am not with it at all today. It's been a strange day, to be honest. Thought Chris Hansen was going to knock my door on stage today. Yeah. Why does he keep spinning out of control? I think I'm actually good for a race, to be honest. Let's go. GP. Green, yellow, red. Well, I'm guessing green is going to be the easiest. Then you progress into yellow, slightly more challenging, then red would be like the hardest difficulty. So yeah, green. And I will stick to Robotnik. Round 1. Green Hill. Why is Sonic so big? What's that keep happening? I'm not going to drift anymore, Jazz. Look how far back I am. Coco Nut, look at how far back I am. I'm absolutely trash at this game. Oh, you got Street Fighter 6. What did you get it on? If you got it on PlayStation 5, I want my revenge. I'm only joking. But if you got it on PS5, we should have a few matches. Although I'll have to add you. Did I add you on my new account? On PlayStation? You bastard. Oh no, it's cross-platform. How would that work then, though? How would I be able to find you? Presume Capcom ID thing, or put in your thing, something anyway. I created a new PlayStation account because of Capcom ID. Capcom ID, man, is a pain in the ass. I don't know if you've ever had any issues with Capcom ID, but they can be a pain in the ass. Oh yeah, we work around that. We work around that, and we'll have a few matches, man. Great to have you in the live stream, Sonic Origins Plus. I'm playing the Game Gear version of Sonic Drift. So yeah, great to have you in the live stream, man. Hope you enjoy. How are you getting on? It was a pain setting it up, and I can relate to that pain. Let me tell you. And you know me when it comes to these kind of things, man. I was like a fucking madman. I swear, man. I had to remove accounts. Then I was told that it was still linked to the account that I couldn't get access to anymore. It was just absolutely driving me around the fucking bend. I am telling you, it's crazy, man. Crazy. When it's just counted, I'll buy PS5 version also. So you won't need to. I'll be able to start something now anyway with the Capcom ID thing. I'll be able to search you or something, because if it's cross-platform play, like I would imagine the whole point of cross-platform play is to make it easier for people to find each other. So I say there wouldn't be any problem there. I'd say I'll try it out tomorrow or something. This is Sonic Drift. Have you ever played Sonic Drift before? I'm finding it quite challenging, to be honest with you, because every time I drift, it seems to crash. I can't even see how many. Where it just says. I'm catching up now. Oh no, the race is over. I actually thought I was catching up there for a second. Can I retry that? Oh my god. Of course the winner is Sonic. Of course. Of course it's Sonic. I was debating today what one I had board in my hands. But I had 5. Oh yeah. I was wondering now. So you're wondering which version you were going to get? No man, I haven't. It's basically Sega's answer to Mario Kart. This was actually the first Sonic racing game as well. So a bit of history. Did you double dip on Origins? I did. I double dipped for the physical edition. I did. Kind of like find myself like playing like kind of like the lesser kind of known Game Gear games on Switch, and play a bit of story mode as well. Kind of like balancing it with the PS5 version. But yeah, double dipped. I've done so many double dipping, man. Crazy. So second place, Tails. Third place, Amy. And of course, fourth place, Robotnik. I want to go again. Oh no, not mine. It's going to throw me into Marble Zone. So what I actually like about it is like every course is actually a zone from the first Sonic game. Okay, I'm not drifting this time now. I don't care how far back I go. My god, it actually would remind you of those old bike racing games, wouldn't it? Bear in mind this 8-bit handheld, no, like so. I think that's what it is. Oh, I'm sorry, this is so bad. I know, I'm saying that in 4th place, losing. But it's just so bad, like you can barely even see the track, like. My God, I can imagine on the Game Gear then, like, oh, get me out of this thing. Get me out of it. I can't even. How the fuck do you get out? I'm just gonna reset the game. Title screen. My God. I clearly need practice on this for sure. Same here, I pre-ordered the Spider-Man controller as well, but want to get the cover plates. Yeah, you're like everyone else wants to get the cover plates, but I don't know, man, I just don't, you know me now, when it comes to these things, I just don't want to go near my PS5. Or you don't seem to have them anywhere. The cover plates, yeah, so your best bit would be to get them on the direct PlayStation store, I'd say. It's class, my cousin had a Game Gear. Did he? Never had a Game Gear. I might actually track it down just for like, you know, just to like own a piece of history. And I need some more practice. I think I should go back into the pre-run. Yeah, that would be the best thing to do. Do a bit of practice in pre-run. Get a feel for the game, you know. I change driver for a bit. Tails. Go on, Tails. And then Mark had one years ago. Did he? I remember Mark. Oh, look at Tails. Look the way he looked back. I like that. One Tails. I'm trying to find it, right? Like, what? So when you drift too long, you kind of crash, right? So what if I just do like a short drift? And instead of crashing into a tree. Exactly so. Guess who's back? Back again. Johnny's back. Tell a friend. While this game is paused, this stream is sponsored by. Oh God, I love it. You gotta love a bit of humour. You gotta love a bit of humour. Sorry about that. I had to provide some IT support. Strange situation, actually. My mother couldn't get into her email, and it was saying that it wasn't accepting her password. But then, as I was proceeding to do the forgot password thing, where it sends like a new password link to her phone, it just logged in by itself. Strange. You got a new number, man. We'll message you on PSN later. Coolaboola. Coolaboola coconut. I'm still gonna have to do a good few runs because this game is whack. Very weird. Very strange. Very strange. I reckon it could be a glitch. With Outlook. Better fucking check mine now, to be honest. The more I think of it. That's a great... Have you ever seen the IT Crowd? I presume you have. Great show. If you haven't, get to it. Yeah, mine seems to be okay there now. It seems to be okay. Yeah, my subscription for Dildo Express. Still there. Yeah. Grand. But yeah, all gone now. I better get to it, so I like this game. Oh man, you gotta watch it. I've heard of Black Mirror. Do you know what do you know when I go onto Netflix in particular? Because to be honest, Netflix is the only streaming service I actually have. I can't be bothered having multiple subscription services, not because of the awkwardness of switching between one account to the next, but the fucking price, like. To be paying for like multiple subscription services, nah. If somebody wants to fucking pay for it for me, they can. But like, fuck that shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. But no, I find myself just coming across these like whack, kind of like lesser known like British kind of sitcoms. Honestly, man, I've watched so many fucking British and Scottish sitcoms as well. Like, no offense to America, no offense to American comedy, or even just American shows, for that matter. But I just prefer British comedy. There's just something about British comedy, man. It just appeals to me more than American comedy, to be honest. Well, not just comedy, like, but just in general. I don't know. I just seem to be, yeah. That's just the way I am. No, man, you're right. One is enough. Well, one is more than enough. I'm actually the same. I don't have a TV anymore, as in live TV. I mean, I get you. As long as 1, 2, 3 movies exist, we don't need subscription services. But that's where I actually did. I tell you I watched Resident Evil Dead Island. I'm not too sure if you were on the stream or not. There was actually one thing that I forgot to mention in my Dead Island discussion, and that's just like I liked. So I did briefly speak about it. I liked how they're connected to the games a lot more this time around compared to the other Resident Evil CGI movies. Like, they reference like the Raccoon City incident from the perspective of the UBCS, right? When they, like, Umbrella, like, special forces basically, like, arrive into Raccoon City and proceed to, like, fucking rescue Umbrella executives and personnel, and fucking killing all of us as civilians. But like, to see like one person like from that team and their story, and they become the main villain of the movie. Because what I like about it is like the Raccoon City incident isn't just. I'm going to pause for a second because this game wrecks my head, to be honest. Well, Sonic Drift does anyway. But there's one thing in particular right? That I want to highlight here. Like the Raccoon City incident isn't just something that happened. Chris, Jill, Claire, Leon, Rebecca, Barry. It happened every person who lived in Raccoon City, every person who was anywhere at all involved in the Raccoon City incident. There's so many people. Like, that's why Capcom made the Outlast series. That's exactly what Outlast actually exists for, to be quite honest with you, apart from the fact that they wanted to get into the online kind of aspect of things. But there's so many people had so many experiences in Raccoon City. So to see that kind of play out in Dead Island, I actually really enjoyed it. But I watched that 1, 2, 3 movies as well. Where would we be without that? No man, what's this new movie? Oh, it's the latest Resident Evil CGI movie. Normally, I wouldn't be too keen on the CGI movies because they're very, very over the top action. But and the island is too, to be quite honest with you. But overall, I was pleasantly. I actually no. I'm gonna plug my live stream now. I'm gonna plug my discussion live stream. So, if you want to hear more about that, don't forget to check out my video on that. Sonic RTG, don't I? I'm actually turning into fucking RTG, man, to be honest with you. I'm his long lost nephew. Yeah, it's official. Didn't you actually make me aware of him, RTG? I actually can't remember. I used to watch that guy. Man. I can't think of his name. The black dude. Without sounding racist in today's world. I mean, he is black and he's a dude, so But I just got sick of him, man. He was fucking. Oh man, he's after. I just got a mental image of him now in my head, and it's actually kind of freaky. Oh god, it's actually freaky. Yeah, no animated, so we get to see it from people's experience. Yeah, exactly. That's exact. I'll give you a brief kind of synopsis now. Well, I'll do my best not to spoil it for you. But are you aware of who the UBCS are? They're the guys who showed up in Resident Evil 3. Those are the guys that Carlos Oliveira was part of. He ends up being Jill's partner in Resident Evil 3. Well, not partner, but he helps her. They were the Umbrella paramilitary who were sent into Raccoon City. The lower rank officials thought that it was a rescue mission, but in reality, it was basically a cleanup. Um, it was basically a cleanup, and the only people that they were evacuating were Umbrella personnel and high government officials. But that's who they are anyway. But what happened was Umbrella ordered this team, right, of UBCS members to what you call it, to quarantine the infected, because their team got infected by the T virus, right? So they were ordered to quarantine them, and then eventually they were ordered to shoot and kill them. So one guy, Dylan is his name, and he's like, "We can't do that. We can't shoot them. We can't shoot them." And he basically like ends up fucking like I don't know, his colleague gets infected and he has to kill him basically, and he had to do that. He had to kill him, and that messed him up like for years and years and years, and he becomes the villain. It's a bit, you know what? If anyone has a problem with that, if anyone says that's a stupid story, like I will point your attention to The Last of Us 2, because that whole fucking story was about an NPC in Last of Us 1 being killed. So I rest my case. But it's a great. I think it was a great movie anyway. RGT had a heart attack a while ago. Is that actually what happened to him? I know he made a video saying that he was sick for a while and he was in hospital. Fucking, I never knew he actually had a heart attack. Yeah, Carlos was a cool character, to be honest. He was like, and he's still alive if I'm not mistaken, isn't he? Is he alive? I genuinely don't know if he's alive or not. But you know what? Oh no, I'm not going to say any more because I want you to watch that live stream. If you want to find out more, watch that video. But yeah. Hashtag Last of Us sucks. Was he not in 4? Oh no, he definitely wasn't in 4. Say hello to Buckaroo. No, he wasn't in 4. He wasn't. Oh, you're thinking of Louise. You're thinking of Louise. I think I may be getting used to the controls now. That's, I think, okay. I was literally going to say this is as good as it's going to get, and it crashes. Great. But seriously, it is as good as it's going to get, I think. That's him. Louise. Go, Tails, go. Right, I think I'm ready to rock and roll now, to be honest. It's not going to get any better than this, so let's go. Chaos GP. Green. Tails. Let's go. Get out. Hey! Crash into the... Oh. Don't look behind you, don't look behind you, don't look behind you, don't look at the map, don't look at the map, don't look at the map, don't look at the map. Now we are sucking diesel. I will never forget the time I first heard that to this day. Like, you know the way people cheer, like, stuff in sport, and it all makes sense, like, ref, you know, or, oh, what a goal, or, you know, fucking, you know, kick it out, or, you know, just normal, like, sporting slangs, and I'm there, like, in the sidelines, and all I hear is, no, we're sucking diesel. I thought I was getting a stroke or something, seriously. I was like, what the fuck, did they just hear? Oh, God. Fun times. Fun times. Did you sign up to the exclusive character for the? Oh, you automatically. Well, you automatically do it if you're a member of the Sonic newsletter thing. Yeah. So I think so anyway. Yeah. It's the same too with Sonic Frontiers. You got a pair of Sonic Adventure 2 shoes. So I'm automatically signed up to that now. Oh man, it's a great time to be a gamer. I really feel that it really is. Like when it comes to like classic 2D platformers. Oh my days. Like whether you were a Nintendo guy or whether you were a Sega guy, like the fact that we are getting an actual brand new 2D Mario game, not a fucking milked and recycled, regurgitated new Super Mario Bros, but an actual new Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Superstars or Super Mario fucking I get confused now. Super Mario Wonder. Like the art style. And when I say the art style, I don't just mean like graphics. I don't just mean that. I mean the way that you see like Mario's hat like lifting up and just little stuff like that, like the way that Mario's clothes behave. I never thought I'd ever say those fucking words in one sentence. The way that Mario's clothes behave. 10 out of 10 from Johnny. That should be slapped onto the fucking box of the game as a review. But anyway, just stuff like that. Gameplay, there's a lot of different kind of gameplay. I mean, from what I've seen in the trailer, this is a genuinely new, fresh 2D Mario. And then we move on to Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, no more classic collections, no more like Sonic Generation, which is basically like a best of like stages from 3D Sonic games and 2D Sonic games. And apparently people are pissed off that there wasn't going to be a Sonic Mania 2. The reality is Sonic Mania played it too safe. That's what Sonic Mania is. It just played it too safe. It was almost like Sega were desperate to get back the original fans of the series. Look, it's designed like a Mega Drive game. Look, it has Green Hill Zone in it. You know, like there was very few new zones. There was very few new mechanics in that game. But now we actually have, just like Mario Wonder, a brand new 2D Sonic the Hedgehog game. Um, 12 brand new zones, different gameplay. Man, what a time to be a gamer. Oh my days. It's just amazing. Final Fantasy is back on form with 16. And for anyone complaining, it's only on PS5. For fuck's sake, the first 6 Final Fantasy games were only on Super Nintendo and NES. Right? 7, 8, and 9 were only on PS1. Like, there's probably, if you stop and think of it, there's probably less multi-platform Final Fantasy games out there than there actually is of exclusive platform, like Final Fantasy games that are exclusive to platforms. And I think I'm right because, as I mentioned, there's just 16. I'll get your comment in a second. Don't worry now. There's 16 Final Fantasy games right now, mainline Final Fantasy games right now. As I said, 6 of those games were only on Nintendo platforms. Um, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10 2, 12, and 13. Sorry. 12 were only on. So up to 12. So from 7 to 12 was only on PlayStation platforms. So it really is only 13 and 15 that were multi-platform. So people who are like, oh, why isn't Final Fantasy multi-platform anymore? There was only 2 Final Fantasy mainline games that were multi-platform. Let that one sink in now. Let that one sink in. Let that one sink in. No, I will read the comments. Sucking diesel. Yeah, send it to it. Hello, my father. I am good. How are you? I know I'm putting an accent. No, I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain. No, to be honest with you, been a pretty strange day, but overall, it's been a good day. I mean, yeah. What about yourself? Welcome to the live stream. As always, Johnny is mad at all the 90s. Johnny, it's mad all the 90s games are back. But even today, I seen a post that most wanted Christmas toys are Barbie and Furbies. Oh, the 90s are back, man. The 90s are fucking back. You're right, man. You're right. Mario Wonder is a wonder. Yep, very true. Life is a wonder. Oh my god, the poet is out. And the poetry, the poetry from my dad is out in full. He's just going to turn every comment into a fucking poem from now on. Everything, no matter what you type, like it'll be a poem or it'll be a fucking something anyway. Oh my god, no, I'm only joking. Um, but if you think now, Johnny, Final Fantasy mainline games up to 12 are all on. Oh, but they are no. But what I'm trying to say is, whenever there was a new mainline Final Fantasy game, like the first 6 of those mainline games were only on Nintendo platforms, and 7 to 12 were only on PlayStation consoles. And then when Final Fantasy 13, like I won't come 14 because it's just the online kind of Final Fantasy games. It doesn't. I wouldn't consider it a mainline Final Fantasy game. So 14 and 15 were, sorry, 13 and 15 were multi-platform Final Fantasy games. I know like that the re-releases and ports of those games eventually made their way across multiple platforms, but that doesn't really count as far as I'm concerned. So people need to realise that and stop kind of attacking PlayStation. Oh look, you're taking away Final Fantasy from us. From what? From 2 games that are multi-platform. From 2 games that are on Xbox. From 2 Final Fantasy games that are on Xbox. You're taking away Final Fantasy from Xbox. There were literally 2 mainline Final Fantasy games were on Xbox. Like let that one sink in though for a second. Like, do you know what I mean? So people need to realize that Final Fantasy has always been a console exclusive series. with the exception of 13 and 15. Glad you're doing well, cause of the Switch store. Oh, I know, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Like, I get what you're saying. Those games were eventually, like Final Fantasy 1 to 6, were eventually ported across various platforms. 7 to 12 were eventually ported across multiple platforms. I get that, but like when they originally released, like 16 originally released, right? Like when these games are, when they originally released, they were exclusive to the platforms. Is the point I'm trying to make there, really. Um, they did take Spider-Man away though from Xbox, not Final Fantasy. But look, man, come on now, come on now. Who brought Spider-Man into this conversation now? Like, you know, who? And at the end of the day, it's actually like it's actually like fucking like doesn't Sony like Sony have the rights to PlayStation or to Spider Man? That's just the way it is. Like, you know, that's just the way it is. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But like, I just think when it comes to Final Fantasy, where there's like 16 games in the mainline series, like I don't know why people seem to like lose their shit like whenever they're like, oh look, they're making Final Fantasy exclusive to PlayStation. Like literally, like as I said, from the point of view of PlayStation, Final Fantasy has been a PlayStation exclusive from 7 right up to Final Fantasy 12, and before that, from 1 to 6, they were exclusive on Nintendo consoles. So like, I just don't know why people get so surprised whenever there's a mainline Final Fantasy game that becomes exclusive to a console. Is what I'm saying. If the 90s are back, does that mean that's a good one? No. Yep, forever young. I'm saying, uh, I'm saying the bigger argument for Spider-Man over Final Fantasy. Saying the bigger. What do you mean? No, I'm not quite sure. I'm saying the bigger argument is for Spider-Man over Final Fantasy. Um, I'm not really sure what you're saying here, no, to be honest with you, why, but like Spider-Man is a Sony property, as far as I'm aware, anyway. So it would make sense that Spider-Man would be on a Sony PlayStation console. And with Final Fantasy, as I've been saying tirelessly now, has always, with the exception of 2 games in the 16 like numbered mainline series, have been console exclusive games. So it just makes sense. You are as young as you feel, and that depends on who. Like Xbox only had 2 Final Fantasy games. Every other, yeah, exactly. That's what I said. So Xbox have only had like 2 Final Fantasy games. So like I just don't think like that people like on Xbox or on Nintendo platforms or whatever else should be like saying, oh, why isn't this game on? So it's just, yeah. No, Johnny Marvel owned the game rights. Oh, is it Marvel that owned the game rights? Okay, I'm not quite sure the full issue there, like, but I don't know, man. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I mean, Microsoft literally bought fucking Activision Blizzard. So if anyone is taking games away from people, it's Phil Spencer. And I know like they're gonna like Call of Duty will be on PlayStation, but who calls the shots? Like who actually like owns that company? It's Microsoft, Xbox. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a bit like when Vince McMahon bought his competition. Oh, WCW is still a thing. Yeah, right, it was. Oh, ECW is still a thing. Look what happened to ECW. So, you know, I know they're 2 different people, like 2 different businesses, but yeah. Point stands nonetheless. Oh, so it's Sony that owns the movie rights. Okay, okay, gotcha. But then you have to think about it from the point of view of Insomniac Games, are actually developers of this Spider-Man game. So it was kind of a thing of Insomniac Games working with Marvel. So it kind of wouldn't make sense, like for like that kind of partnership to just stop all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? So I can actually play this game now. It was difficult when I first started, but now I kind of have the controls nailed. Kind of. Until I crash into a pole. You know what's actually mad? It feels like I'm playing Mario Kart DS with the map at the top of the screen. It was ahead of its time. Nintendo copied Sega. Um, it's all stupid, to be honest. I hate the way they're all getting bought over. Yeah, I'd much prefer if companies, like especially first party companies, just made their own games. Um, like the reality is Microsoft has Halo, Gears of War, Fable. I mean, they own Rare, um, like which made like games like Perfect Dark. I mean, it took them years to bring out a perfect, like to acknowledge Perfect Dark. They have acknowledged Perfect Dark, but they're in development hell. I mean, Xbox has intellectual properties, but they're doing fuck all with them. Um, so like Microsoft's approach to being somewhat competitive in the gaming market is to buy other people's games instead of making their own games. And instead of pushing those games, instead of putting those games out there and putting quality games on the shelves to sell hardware, because software sells hardware. I don't know what the fuck Phil Spencer was smoking in the interview where he said that games don't sell consoles, but software sells hardware. Um, so instead of focusing on that, Phil Spencer seems to be like saying, "Oh look, Game Pass, you can buy games day one," but you're not buying the games. You're subscribing to a service to play those games. You don't own those games. There's a difference. So it's a strange kind of decision. And then you have like Nintendo. I mean, do we need to talk about Nintendo when it comes to like their first party games? Like Nintendo's like like they wouldn't be Nintendo wouldn't be in the market if they didn't have first party games. Because they can't like rely on like nobody is realistically speaking, nobody is buying Nintendo consoles for third party games. Realistically. Like Nintendo has Mario Kart, Super Mario Bros, like the Super Mario like 3D series, Super Smash Bros, The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Pikmin, Animal Crossing, Kirby, Yoshi, etc., etc., etc. Like they literally have the best first party games in the industry. Then you have Sony, and more recently have like specifically in more recent times have really pushed their first party library of games. I mean, they revitalized God of War, and 2018 and Ragnarok have become some of the greatest games in recent history. When Insomniac, not only did they bring back Ratchet and Clank, but they've now established a Spider-Man series, and they're making Wolverine. Then you have The Last of Us, 1 and 2. Gran Turismo, still around, after fucking 20 plus years, 25 years. Horizon, a brand new IP from PlayStation. And so on and so forth. And those games that I mentioned across those two companies, across those two platforms, Like, Tears of the Kingdom sold 12 million copies in just 3 days. I mean, that is very successful, you know? So, like, the reality is, like, PlayStation games are selling, and they're selling hardware, and Nintendo games are selling very well, and they're selling hardware. So that's what you do. That's what you do to be competitive in the industry. Phil Spencer is just taking the lazy way out. That's exactly what he is. How long have Microsoft been in? I'm not quite sure. A very long time. Insomniac Games made Sunset Overdrive on Xbox before Sony bought them. They did, but I don't quite see your point, Anthony. I know I'm not giving out to you, like, but I just don't quite see your point. Like, I mean, like, what you need to realize is Insomniac Games actually before Sunset Overdrive actually created um, one of the most iconic PlayStation games of all time, the Spyro the Dragon series. That's the part that you failed to mention. It's even similar to how Spider-Man plays in some ways. I would actually say that it's similar to Spyro the Dragon in the sense that you've got this open space that you can explore. Um, and you can go in any direction. You can approach that open space in any way you want. You can decide to like Inspire the Dragon, 1, 2, and 3, which were made by Insomniac Games, which were um, some of the best PlayStation games, PS1 games of all time. You could either approach the open space in the worlds in Spyro. You could decide to save the dragons, rescue dragon eggs, collect gems, or defeat enemies. So then you look at like Manhattan and Spider Man. There's Manhattan, isn't it? You can either collect treasure, which actually reminds me of collecting actual treasure in Spyro the Dragon. You can solve crimes, or you can progress the story. So I'd say it's actually quite like Spyro the Dragon. It has similarities to Mario, Mario Lore, Mario Lawnmower. I'd buy that. I'd buy that for $1. I agree. True, yeah, facts. I'm always speaking those facts, man. So on and so. I told you Phil Spencer wasn't. You did. I am telling you, man. You actually did before any of us were even acknowledging Phil Spencer. Like I didn't even know who Phil Spencer was until you, before anyone else, man. You called it, man. You literally called it. You literally called. You said he wasn't good for business, and you called it right down the wire, man. I tell you the truth, man. Right, this is how I've always felt about Phil Spencer. Once I kind of got to know him, like from like public appearances or interviews, I think as like as Phil Spencer, the person, and as Phil Spencer, the gamer, I think he's a great person. I think he's got a great mindset. He's not a fan of console wars, right? Like the reason why he's actually like in his mind, the reason why he's acquiring, and this is the most important thing, the reason he feels he's acquiring these companies is he wants more people to be able to play these games regardless of what console you have. He pushed cross platform he pushed cross platform play and even cross progress play as well. Um, so I think that's what he wants to do as a person and as a gamer. But as the head of Xbox, as the head of Xbox, like there's times where he was in interviews where he was asked about like um, Xbox Series X or whatever, and he's going on about like how great like Nintendo is and how great PlayStation is. That's exactly what I mean. Like as a person and as a gamer, he's a genuine person. But as a businessman, I just think he's doing a terrible job being the head of Xbox. That's how I feel. Um, um, well, hello. Jason, you are very welcome to Green Hill Gaming. How you getting on? Welcome to my. Well, I will be playing Sonic Origins Plus in a moment. I'll be playing um, Sonic Drift on Game Gear. Don't worry. Are you going to stream Sonic Superstars? Oh my god. Is a bear going to shit into woods? Yes. Frank Spencer. Oh yeah, Frank Spencer, yeah. He's funny. Do you remember the TV show Frank Spencer? I think I do. I think I do. Spring Year. I'm going to save this actually. Ah, come on. How do I crash down now? There's a game called Sonic Chaotix or something, but that's actually on the Sega Mega Drive CD, Sega Mega CD. I thought it was actually a Game Gear game. Shit. Yes, still one. I think I'm getting the hang of this shit. Alright, time for Lambda. I'll send you one. Nice one, man. Nice one. Listen, thanks for dropping by the live stream. Much appreciated. I will say good night, sleep well, and I will catch you in the next live stream. Buck, you're very quiet. You're very quiet. And I think I've figured out your identity as well. Well, I actually found. I was convinced of it weeks back. But I've kind of worked it all out. So Buckaroo, if you're still in the live stream, I know who you are. Labyrinth, if I have to go into water, so help me God. Come on. So this game really is a piece of history, like, I mean, this is the first Sonic Racing game. There's been quite a few Sonic Racing games over the years, you know? And this is the first one. That was short. Tails speeding into first place. Maybe he fell into the bucket. Maybe so. Maybe so. I wouldn't realise, you know, I think I've actually always been more of a fan of Tails than Sonic. I mean, the first time I, like, saw Tails Sonic 2, I was more drawn to Tails than any other character. Like, when Amy came along, I was like, don't give a shit. Knuckles came along, don't give a shit. Genuinely, like, well, maybe Tails, like, with Knuckles was, you know, somewhat interested in. But, not. It's always Tails. Whenever I can choose a character in Sonic, it's always Tails. Nah, I'm not going to come second to Sonic. Tails has been coming second to Sonic not long enough. Not good enough. Lord. I just realised there actually is no Knuckles in this game. Why the fuck is Amy in? Why is Amy in the game and not Knuckles? Shit. Yeah. Here we go now. I'm off the bed down there, Johnny. See you Sunday, weather permitting. Enjoy as always. Thank you. Yeah, weather permitting. I will see you on Sunday. Thanks for watching the live stream. Much appreciated. Good night and sleep well. I shall be going myself there now shortly, that's it. Scrap brain. I wonder will be like a final zone course. That would be interesting. Ah, come on. Oh, what? Boom. I believe that was the final zone. There we go. Yeah. How does it feel, Sonic, to be in my shadow? Tails' shadow. Judging by the look on your face, Sonic. Oh, just got your number. I got Coconut's number. I should input that into my phone now. I literally have someone called Jim my phone and I have no idea who the fuck Jim is. There we go. Oh. I can play any. Well, like, that's literally Sonic Drift. There's nothing else to it. I mean, you can play the other difficulties, like, but that's literally it, like. I think so anyway, I don't think it... Let's have a look. I presume it's going to be the same. I'll go as Robotnik this time, seeing as I'm slightly more comfortable. Yeah, it's still Green Hill, it'll just be slightly more difficult. As you can see. Okay, that's enough for now. I know I'm always conscious of the title of my live stream because if someone joins the live stream, see, I'm going to go into the museum and probably listen to a few classic Sonic songs before I go to sleep. But then, like, someone will join the live stream and say, "Oh, this isn't Sonic Drift." Well, pity about you. Come back. Have a quick look at what games are left. Oh yeah, the Sonic Drift 2-player Sonic Spinball. Oh, wait a second, I didn't even notice that. Sonic the Hedgehog Trouble. I'm looking, oh, it's even Sonic Drift 2 as well. I think that might have been the one I played actually, come to think of it. Sonic's second foray into racing. There is no rival races to compete against with new vehicles and tracks. Well, you can do that. But these games here in particular, Tails Sky Patrol and Tails Adventure, those are the ones I'm looking forward to most. And it's really surprised how these games didn't get some kind of like remake or some kind of like spiritual, successor. Because if you look at the mainline Mario games, or Sonic games, if you start to think about this now, seriously, right? If you look at the mainline Sonic games, right? Now, I'm not saying that Tails Sky Patrol and Tails Adventure are mainline Sonic games, but just hear me out, right? Like, when's the last time Knuckles had his own game? I don't think he ever did. When's the last time Amy got her own game? I don't think she did. When's the last time Robotnik got his own game? I don't think he did. The only person I can think of that got his own Sonic game was Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, you would have loved that or hate that. I never played it, so I can't decide. But, like, they need to start going back to that kind of way of thinking, and give a character. Right, look at this, right? Tails' second one, start with Sky Patrol, right? This title was originally released only in Japan and only for Game Gear. Tails' solo debut has him flying high and low to save a remote island from witchcraft. I mean, think of that. Fucking witchcraft as well. Like, what the fuck? I didn't even expect that. Like that, you know what I mean? This is something completely different. Like, it takes a character from the Sonic series and puts them into a completely different type of game as well. It's great. So I think Sega they're always playing it safe, I think. I've actually played this game on the Switch version. I think Sonic Blast is like there's actually quite a lot of games on it, as you'd expect. But anyway, I think I'm gonna go to right. I'm not quite sure what happens when you actually complete all this. If you get something, I don't think you do, to be honest with you. I am gonna go to a museum for some time. Listen to some music. Listen to the music playlist. Oh, I actually have my playlist. Yes, this is good. Some relaxing music before I go to sleep. I swear to God, today has been the most random day ever. There's so much randomness has happened today. Literally from the moment I actually woke up this morning. To like lunchtime and evening time. Where I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god. I'm actually scared to go into my fucking bed, to be honest. This is how random it has been. Oh shit, I'm about. I'm about. What's that? Oh, bastard, man. Why did I press circle? Oh, I'm pressing circle. I was used to playing Sonic Drift. That's what that was. I literally walked out. I went for a walk earlier, just to add to the randomness of today. I went for a walk earlier, and what happened? There was it was a guy that ran past me, right? This guy, and actually before that, I could hear some kind of like commotion anyway, right? Up ahead of me. Maybe like in the terrace beyond me or something, I don't know. So there was some commotion going on there anyway. Next minute, this guy speeds past me with like some kind of fucking iron pipe on him. Speeds past me, turns the corner, there's like a waiting truck for him, hops into the trunk, he's gone, a truck. Next minute, all I hear is somebody running behind me. Now when someone runs behind you, man, I wasn't fucking, do you know what I mean? I wasn't fucking like streetwise or anything like growing up like or anything. I wasn't like taught. But it's just, when someone runs behind you, you fucking turn around. You turn around. You don't give them the opportunity. You fucking turn around, right? So I turned around anyway, expecting like, I was fully, I see this guy running towards me. And he's like, so I mean, all fucking geared up, like, quite literally, I'd say. If you know what I mean. All geared up, right, ready to go, like. I was like, okay. I was fully convinced he was coming towards me. I was like, okay, let's go. But he ran past me. I was like, no, fuck's sake, anyway. Hoping for a fight. But, he fucking runs down the road, like, panting. So it's clearly something happened anyway, some kind of fight. Yeah. I just don't think I ever had such a random fucking day. Oh my days, man. It's like a dream. I put everything that happened to me today, or everything that went on today, if I put that all into one fucking segment, oh my fucking god, man. It's like one of those weird ass dreams you have. Literally. So those dreams, you just wake up and like, wow, a lot happened in that dream. Fuck me. Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, that's the weird thing about life. Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Is that how it goes? I don't know. What the fuck? Wait a second, I had it in the middle. There's a piece of music here that I missed out on. Where is it? I don't think I passed it. It was launch. Launch zone. Where was that? I miss Samantha Carpenter. I miss the Trolls. The Trolls. Bring back the Trolls. Bring back the Trolls. The Trolls. Come on. Bring them back. Bollocks, I want it again. It's mindfuck, like when you're like used to pressing circle to accelerate and then you press circle and then come back. I'm actually half asleep right now, to be honest. So if I ever end up in a fucking place that does karaoke, if there's a karaoke night or whatever the fuck, like, you know, where the fuck would I be going to have karaoke night? Oh god, but anyway, if there was, I'd be asking for Sonic Boom. Put on the Sonic Boom opening version, please, there. Yeah. Look at that. We don't have that. And I'm like, well, that's why I have Spotify. Move over, bitch. Connect my phone up to the fucking device. Blast Sonic Boom. Look at the lyrics. And there we go. You know, I think it's great to see the positive advancements of technology. You know, seriously, I just think like Spotify, like, fuck me, like literally just being able to have like an actual like free service where you can just literally type in whatever song and listen to it right then and there, and even have the lyrics. That is some pretty cool technology right there, like. In any song. Like when I was growing up and you wanted to listen to music, what options would you have? Well, your first option would be the radio, but it would be whatever song that person wants to play, and you'd be like sitting there saying, oh, I would love to play that song, and then they play a song you like, and you're like, oh, you love it, and then it's gone. They're not going to play it again, it's just gone. Whereas like, you look at Spotify, whatever song you want to listen to, whatever your favourite song is, type it in Spotify, listen to it on repeat for 2 hours straight if you wanted to, and nobody can stop you. That's fucking great, like. And if you want, like, if you wanted to, like, I don't know, like, I mean, if you wanted to have, again, if you wanted to have that song with you at all times, you'd have to actually go into a music shop and buy the CD or buy the album. Again, now you're going to, I'm thinking like, this stream is sponsored by Spotify. Thank you. Oh god, I don't know. But no, seriously, you can go on to Spotify and just, again, type in your favourite artist, the album of that favourite artist, and listen to the, I don't know how the fuck it's even a thing, to be honest with you, like I know you can get, like, it's ads basically, it's ads, but I think most people don't give a shit, like, I mean, most people don't give a shit. Like, I mean, think of it. Like, if you have to go into a music shop, you have to physically go to that music shop. That's going to take time, isn't it? So you're waiting to listen to the song anyway. And also, you're using electricity to like plug in your fucking stereo or whatever it was back in the day. But it's just, I mean, you hear people talking about like the disadvantages of like technology and like AI, and I mean, I think it's important to look at the positives as well of technology and AI. Seriously, there is quite a lot of positives, like. Like, I think we're so like reliant on technology that we don't actually kind of appreciate it, you know. Like, I'm not talking about like fucking electricity, you know what I mean? Or like TV or radio. I mean, it's just the actual like technology, like of like internet technology and services, internet services as a result of it. It's fucking great. I mean, before Spotify, it was probably YouTube. Yeah, YouTube would be like the thing. You just type in your song and it's there. Music videos would show up like on YouTube. Yeah. Maybe that's what goes Spotify. To be honest. Like, because I do my daily workout. Like, if I didn't have Spotify, my soundtrack would be me just panting. Literally for like fucking 35-40 minutes, whatever. I mean, oh god. And it's quite funny really, because when I do the workout, like I'm actually like fucking, I'm actually in the box room, I'm not gonna lie. But so like I'm downstairs. But I open the window, and like my neighbour's got an extension years ago, right? So like they're like basically they're like very close, right, to like my room, right? So like I open my window to do the workout, like, and all I hear is me going, and then like there's like certain kind of like there's certain type of like kind of like routines that require like to lay down, like, so I'm not gonna fucking lay down on the floor, like I might sort of either on the bed. So like a lot of the times like we have like the fucking bed creaking and everything, and it's me going. It's just that like I kind of like I just laugh at it sometimes, just thinking what the fuck is this ridiculous, you know? Oh god. Sometimes I'd laugh just to make them really think. I'd just pass the window and say, was that as good for you as it was for me? I'm only joking, I wouldn't do that. How would I? I actually can't believe I've actually been keeping up this workout for so long, to be honest. And a balanced diet as well. So I think it's actually, I think the definition of like balance is to have an equal amount of a range of things. What the fuck am I saying? But that's 50-50, like, do you get me? That's balance, you know what I mean? So I think that's the definition of balance. There's nothing wrong with like having a takeaway, like once or even twice a week. Because if you stop and think of it, right, there's 7 days in a week. So if you have 2 takeaways on those, if you have 7 days in a week, if you have 2 takeaways in those 7 days, that means that the remaining 5 days you're not having a takeaway. So that's actually that would even be balanced. It's more, it's better than a balance. What the fuck am I saying? But like, yeah. So my diet now, right, consists of, like, obviously first thing in the morning you have your breakfast. You have to have a breakfast. You have to have a breakfast. My breakfast I'm not gonna lie, it's the same every morning. A bowl of Weetabix, two biscuits of Weetabix basically, right? With milk, of course, and it's super milk. Literally, I'm not joking. It's literally called super milk. I'm not joking. I'll do a live stream. I don't want milk in the fridge if I have to. Super milk. It's not just any milk. It's not your fucking your dairy milk or your fucking goat's milk. It's super milk. But and orange juice. That's literally my breakfast. And then my lunch. Again, I'm not gonna lie, it's the same every day. You might think it's boring, but it's, you know what I mean? Consistency, like. 2 slices of soda bread with butter, low fat butter, may I add. And a banana. Well, what is up with bananas? Can we just have a conversation about bananas, please? Why do some bananas? Can I say one thing? What the fuck are fun-sized bananas? And what the fuck does it actually mean? Can somebody tell me in the live chat right now? I don't even care if you don't comment on my streams. I want you to comment, tell me. Not a joke. But what the hell is a fun-sized banana? Literally, I actually came out of the shop there a month back, and I'm just staring at the bag. Fun-sized bananas. What does that mean? Why would you be having fun with your banana? And what's so specific about, like, what is it about the size of the banana that makes it fun? Oh, this is really fun. I don't know, I just find that really strange, to be quite honest with you. But and then some are sour. I'm telling you, but it's not worse than opening a fucking banana, peeling a banana, whatever, opening, peeling, same thing. And it's just sour. It's like, is it a fucking lemon or a banana? Lemonana. Illuminanana, you see. You know, I've officially cracked up. But, and a cup of tea. Not all at the same time, obviously. 2 slices of soda bread, cup of tea. Then a banana. And then for my dinner, well, it's kind of like I swap between potatoes, chicken breasts. Is it chicken breasts? Chicken fillets? Yeah, chicken fillets. Chicken breast fillets. No, chicken. What am I saying? Chicken fillets. Yeah, it is chicken breast fillets. I don't know. Chicken fillets anyway. And peas. And then the next bit is spaghetti bolognese. Low fat, like lean minced beef. The actual spaghetti, which is whole fucking wheat spaghetti, yeah. And obviously sauce, like. And then, as I said, like maybe once or twice a week I get takeaway. But I still have the healthy lunch, and I still have the healthy breakfast. And in between every day, I drink 750 milliliters of water 3 times a day. I'm quite proud of that. I mightn't have the body of fucking Brad Pitt, like, you know. Well, depends on what side you're looking at, you know. Sorry, but oh god. What was I saying? But yeah, unfortunately though, once some people like me just have a bit of, I don't know, it's like baby fat on the belly that just never goes away. It's there, like, it's not going to go anywhere, like. There's a bit of fucking liposuction or something. But I think it's part of, I get bloated as well. Bloatedness, sometimes. Why hello there, Kira. You're very welcome to Green Hill Gaming, how are you doing? I'm just randomly talking about random stuff that's completely unrelated to gaming and completely unrelated to Sonic Drift. I'm so sorry. I said it earlier, I've been streaming for, oh no, let me tell you how long I've been streaming for. I have been streaming for, actually no, longer. I've been streaming for an hour and a half. That can't be right. Is that right? Oh, must be. Yeah, an hour and a half, over an hour and a half. So I actually played Sonic Drift earlier. So if you want to see some Sonic Drift gameplay, maybe rewind the live stream, or if you want to hear me just talking complete randomness, you can stay right here. But it's great to have you in the live stream. How are you doing? I'm just talking about my diet, and of course every day, without fail, exercise. I just call it a workout. So when I say workout, people have a thinking that I'm fucking like lifting weights and fucking all this kind of shit. Like, so I mean, man, if I lifted a weight, I'd probably crack myself. I would literally crack like a fucking Kinder egg. Seriously, that ain't for me. But I do exercise though, actual exercise, which I think is important, really. I mean, people do different types of exercises for different types of reasons, which is perfectly fine. I think it's important, actually. I think it's important that we know why we're doing what we're doing, you know? So, for me, like, I just wanted to kind of just keep fit, like, basically, you know what I mean? I mean, I already look fit, so I wanted to get fit. You know? Oh, God, I would never say this. I would never talk like this, like, in real life, like, as in, like, outside of YouTube. This is, like, so fucking funny, like. But, yeah. But, it's my character. What was I saying? Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, just wanted to keep fit and stay fit. Same thing, really. Get fit and stay fit. In Ring Fit Adventures. Only on Nintendo Switch. Look at this fat bastard, Johnny. Look how much he lost weight. You can be like Johnny as well. Oh, God. Do you walk down the street and hear people saying, "You fat bastard, you fat bastard, you ate all the pies"? Well, now we don't have to. With Ring Fit Adventure. To be fair, I wasn't that fat though. I make it out to be people who haven't seen me, people who haven't actually seen me. I think you've only seen like my legs. I'm basically the living embodiment of fucking abandoned teaser. In fact, no, you can't see more if you saw my legs. But my actual legs, like my feet. But what the fuck am I saying? I'm sorry, you've literally just joined the most random live stream in your life. Hello, come. Excuse me. Excuse me? I'm not sure if that actually is your language or not, but I don't know what your definition of cum is, but my definition is but I'm not quite sure if we're both talking about the same thing. But anyway, no, I've just completely lost my thought of concentration. I literally forgot what I was talking about now. Oh yeah. So yeah, people must, when I say like, when I kind of joke, so I'm fat, I'm actually not fat. Like, I've never actually really been fat. It was more so just like a chubby belly, basically. Or I wasn't actually like fat, you know? Well, I should be going to sleep in about 10 minutes, I'd say. roughly. Roughly. This has been a pretty random day. Very random. It's interesting nowadays, consoles release worldwide on the same day, and they're all called the same thing. Whereas with Sega and their consoles, they would release at different times across the world, and have different names, because it was like Sega's console, like the Mega Drive, it's called Mega Drive in Europe, and I think Japan as well, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, Genesis in America. It's kind of a strange name though, because it means beginning, doesn't it? That means beginning, doesn't it? Like, it wasn't really the beginning of Sega, because they had the Master System. A bit of a strange one, really. Well, sometimes some consoles don't get released on the same day across the world. Didn't the PlayStation 5 release on different times? Didn't it? I can't remember now, to be honest. I also like how nowadays, some consoles, like, it's pretty good, it's pretty cool how, like, when they actually like reveal the console, it's pretty much like at a point where it's ready to hit the market, like. So they kind of show like so much about it, and then it's a couple of months away from release. I think the first console that did that I can remember anyway, like, was the Switch. Now everyone knew about the NX, like Nintendo were talking about the NX since 2015, I think, or was it 2016? I'm not quite sure. Let's just say 2016. But like, so the NX was in the minds of gamers for I think for like about a year, I'd say. Like, nobody knew what the hell it was. So many like rumors out there and leaks and like reports, and like, people had dev kits, and this game is and Nintendo literally announced like that, like Breath of the Wild will be on this thing. So like everyone's like, what the hell is the NX? It was pretty cool, kind of like, I don't know if it was expected or not, but Nintendo just got some seriously like massive like momentum already for a console that didn't even exist, for a console that people didn't even see. NX. It was just, everyone was talking about NX. Again, I'm not quite sure if Nintendo meant that to be the case or not, because it literally just came out of the late great Iwata's mouth during one of those like investor things. He was like talking about like what was next for Nintendo, and he just spoke about like, you know, their next dedicated gaming system, the NX. So I don't know if it was intended. I don't know if, because normally like these investor meetings are not designed to be like, it's not like E3. It isn't the Game Awards. You know what I mean? It isn't Gamescom. You know, obviously like video game journalists like translate these meetings and stuff like. But yeah, but people were talking about NX. But it was try to get this correct now. It was October 2016 where Nintendo finally announced that they were going to reveal the NX. And I remember that day so fucking well, because I woke up that morning. I was working in a charity shop at the time. I missed that place, to be honest. I'll try to go back there actually. I woke up that morning and they were literally like, today we're going to, literally, this is not like literally like they announced, today we're going to reveal the NX. And I couldn't wait to get out of that fucking, I couldn't wait to get out of the shop quicker. Oh man. Doing lunch. No, yeah, that's what happened. And then they reveal it. And you see it for the first time. Like, you know, you see like what we know as a Switch now, like for the first time, the concept of it. Like this guy playing Breath of the Wild in front of his TV. Next minute he goes for a walk with his dog, sits on a park bench and continues playing, continue where he left off, on the bench in the park. And, you know, some guy playing Skyrim. I think did we know they released it? Yeah, we actually, funny enough, we actually knew that I forgot to find out that even before the NX got revealed in October 2016, Nintendo announced that this NX that no one knew about was going to launch in March of 2017. That is unheard of. Like, that is literally unheard of. Oh no, did they? No, I'm actually. Did this? Yeah, I think they did. Said that. It was, yeah, the March 17th thing didn't come until the reveal, I think. But then there was a massive like presentation, like, you know, like beyond the reveal, like where they showed the console in more depth, and the features and services and the games that were coming out in it. I cannot believe that was so long ago. I cannot believe that was like, okay, how many years ago was that? 6, 7 years? That's insane. That does not feel like 6, 7 years ago. Mental. But yeah, I mean, so the time between like that, like full on like presentation, like to go from October to March, like that is crazy. That is literally like October, so November, December, January, February, 5 months. And then from the actual like presentation to the launch, and to go from January to March, like 2 months. Like imagine sitting there seeing like what games are going to launch on this console, and like seeing like a full-on like presentation of a new console, and being able to buy that in your shop, in your local store, in 2 months' time. That was insane. That was absolutely insane, mental. I don't know if Nintendo can follow that. Like, I don't know if they can follow that. Like, that's going to be plaguing Nintendo. That's got to be plaguing them right now. Like, that's got to be really something that they're actually working on desperately. Even the Nintendo president said this. Like, they're aware of like stuff like the Wii U, like failures like the Wii U. Like, they're aware that like they could have a failure at their hands. You know, they're always aware of this. So I hope that is a positive. You know, actually, for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to think of a way Nintendo can do this, actually. Well, I think what would make sense is a Direct. I think Nintendo's first communication to their consumers in relation to their next dedicated gaming system should be done through a dedicated Nintendo Direct. That's what I think it should be. Announce this Direct a week in advance. Not a couple of days, but a week in advance. And what you do is, you say, right, tune in such a day, such a time, to see the future of Nintendo. I know it's very vague, but it's the future of Nintendo gaming, where we show our next dedicated gaming system. Something along the lines of that anyway, right? And in that Direct, boom, there it is. Like, not tease, but like reveal. So here it is, here's what it looks like, here's what it's called, and here's a brief look at what it does and why you should buy this console. And then, like, we say like a couple of months later, like there's a full-on like presentation, like in an actual like, you know, like conference hall type presentation. I think that's the only way to do it. Like, because Nintendo have, like, the thing about the Direct, the Nintendo Direct is, it's such a, it is such a key way for Nintendo to communicate with their consumers. That's why, like, E3 doesn't matter anymore. That's why Nintendo doesn't need to be invited to the Summer Games Fest or the Game Awards or Gamescom, because just look at what happened in the Nintendo Direct recently. Honestly, a remake of Super Mario RPG, Super Mario Wonder, a remaster of Luigi's Mansion 3, a brand new Peach game, a brand new Wario game. All these games get announced, along with many others, in a dedicated Nintendo Direct. So Nintendo Direct is the way that Nintendo communicates to their consumers to inform them of what is happening next. I think it would be silly if Nintendo, like, chose another platform to, like, mention their next dedicated gaming system. So it's gotta be a Direct. It has to be a Direct. And again, a very focused and clear Direct. Like, not a standard Direct where, like, they have a Direct and, like, 20 minutes, like 30 minutes into the Direct, it's all, like, Switch games, and then, like, oh, by the way, like, one final announcement, Switch 2. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not gonna happen. Because that wouldn't be, like, there wouldn't be enough hype built around it. Like, you have to do something similar to what Nintendo did with the NX. Now, again, I don't think they can quite replicate that, because with the NX, people were talking about this thing for almost a year. I think it was a year. But people didn't know anything about it. But they knew, like, that the next dedicated game system was coming, and it was called the NX. Don't know if they can replicate that, as I said, but for the love of God, like, they cannot do a thing like where, like, it's just like, by the way, Switch 2 is coming. You know, like, that's not the way to go about it. Like, there needs to be an announcement, like a massive, every Nintendo social media account, right? Facebook, X, because it's not apparently not called Twitter anymore. Fucking Elon Musk, you retard. Instagram, fucking Snapchat, everything, just massive. Like, it's across the board, right? And again, as I said, a week's notice, like in a week's time, we Nintendo are going to show you what's next for Nintendo, what's next for Nintendo gaming. Because that's very clear, isn't it? That's very clear, like, what's next. Like, that's a very kind of, like, again, it's a very direct statement. Like, we all have a Switch. We've had a Switch for the last 7 years. You know, it continues to sell. Games are coming out for the Switch. But to communicate to everyone, to, like, you know, from the point of view of, like, you know, kids, you know, who want their parents to buy them stuff. Like, even at that stage of marketing, like, this is what's next. Like, when you say this is what's next, like, it's a very clear statement. Like, this happens after the previous thing. But next is the opposite to previous. So this is what's next. Like, tune in next week for a dedicated Nintendo Direct showcasing what is next for Nintendo, where we will be showing our next dedicated gaming system. Look, I don't work for Nintendo, I don't do the wording, but they would do the wording better than I would. And as I said, then, like, for a whole week, now it mightn't be the same thing as a whole year of people talking about NX, but to be fair, people have been, like, spreading rumours and reports about, like, a Switch 2 and a Switch Pro and everything in between for a number of years now, so it is still fresh on people's minds about, like, what Nintendo is doing next. But nonetheless, though, like, officially, for a whole week, people will be thinking, oh my god. And you know what, in the gaming world, and in the online world, more importantly, a week can be a very long time. A very long time. Like, people continually checking their their X feed, and their like social media feeds, like, you know, oh, did you hear Nintendo are going to be announcing their next console? Like, for that to be happening for a whole week, right? People, first of all, it gives people the time and chance to like be aware of this event. Like, it's happening. Like, in a week's time, Nintendo is going to be showing the next console. But if you're just tuned in, this is not actually happening, by the way. Nicole, this actually isn't happening. Like, if you're just tuned in, and the first thing you heard is like next week Nintendo are going to be showing the next console. I hope I don't disappoint anyone. But hello to you, my good friend. How are you keeping? Welcome, as always, to Green Hill Gaming. I started off by playing Sonic Drift, but now I'm actually talking about how Nintendo can go about communicating to the consumers about their next dedicated gaming system. Very professionally put, if I do say so myself. I believe the new console leaking stuff, but I don't think it'll be soon. Well, as far as a release date, I don't think that will be soon either. I think the soonest that would be mid 2023, as far as I'm concerned. But then again, in saying that, we've got to go back to the Nintendo Switch, the Switch 1. We didn't see that console. We didn't even know what the NX was until October of 2016. Think about that now. What month are we in? July. In October of 2016, nobody knew what was coming after the Wii U. We just knew that there was this thing called the NX. We didn't see the NX. We didn't know what it looked like. We didn't know what it was. We didn't know what it was called. We didn't know what it could do. That was October of 2016. All of a sudden, boom, this is Switch. This is what it looks like. This is what it does. And in 5 months' time, it released. November, December, January, February, March. So there is a realistic possibility, based off what I just said there, actually. We're in July now, so August, September, October, November, December. Realistically speaking, Nintendo could hold an event tomorrow and say, today we're going to show our next console. Because that's actually what they did with the Switch. There was this thing where Mario was hiding behind a curtain, and the announcement across all social media was, we're going to be showing NX today. That happened, people. That actually happened. We saw it, again. It was called Nintendo Switch. It was a hybrid console. Play games anywhere, anytime, for anyone. And that console released in March of 2017, which was 5 months between reveal and launch. So it's realistic. This is coming from Nintendo. Like, this isn't coming from somebody, you know, who claims to know everything there is about gaming, you know, and what they think and how they feel the console is going to come out. This is coming from Nintendo, a company that revealed the console and launched the console within the span of 5 months. That's very important to remember. That is very important to remember. But yeah, but I don't know. I think, considering the amount of games that are coming out on Switch this year, you know, I don't think Nintendo would be kind of like. I don't think Nintendo would be like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like cannibalizing their own games, their own hardware. I think it'll definitely be next year. I think it'll be mid next year, to be honest. But yeah, I can see that like Direct happening, people tune in a week later. Finally there, I mean, everyone knows how successful Directs are. Like, Directs aren't just something that like only a few people know about. Like, I mean, whenever there's a Direct, the entire gaming industry is aware. And obviously, like, the gaming industry is obviously like Nintendo's like target audience. Obviously, they're aware they want to get everyone involved in gaming. You know, that's been their thing. Well, that's been their thing since they came into the industry, but particularly like the Wii onwards. like they're obviously aware of like other people. I think it's safe to say that because of like social media, like the social media presence that it has on people nowadays, like I like like a lot of people know about Direct, so Direct is definitely the place to be. So they tune in and they see it, and by the end of that Direct, people will know what it's called, they will know what it looks like, they will know what it does, potentially even know what games are coming out in it. And then we say like a couple of months later, a full-on presentation, and then a couple of months later, it comes to market. So by that time, people would have known what it is. But who knows when it comes to Nintendo? Like, who knows? Like, it's just like release it in the shops tomorrow or something like that. I think mid next year makes sense for it. Yeah, glad you agree. I think so as well, because that Peach game like will be coming out like into next year. The remaster of Luigi's Mansion is coming out next year. Like Nintendo, and they still have Metroid Prime 4. I think Metroid Prime 4 will more than likely become the Breath of the Wild situation for Switch 2. Like it'll release on Switch and Switch 2 is my guess. Yeah, I'm getting quite excited now talking about Switch 2. It has to be Switch 2. Good nice. Oh, the PS5 making this regular thing. But yeah, I'm getting quite hyped now. I think from Mark, so I spoke about how they can communicate to their consumers when it comes to like announcing and revealing their next dedicated gaming system, right? I spoke about that and how they can go about it, right? But now I'm going to talk about like the actual the actual marketing of the product, right, as opposed to like revealing and announcing it. Nintendo I don't think they've ever had as much success with the Switch as they've had with any other recent hardware. I mean, obviously when Nintendo entered the industry, they were the kings. Like they were the kings. I mean, Sega were just like the unique kind of like alternative to Nintendo. But Nintendo were the kings at the time. It was only when they started kind of like really kind of starting to do their own thing that things started to like change from the perspective of like Nintendo being like the market leaders, like the market kings. That was when like you had like even Sega with the Sega CD, and then PlayStation came along. Like they had like CD-ROM technology. Nintendo didn't at the time embrace CD-ROM technology, which meant that games like Final Fantasy VII and even Metal Gear Solid, for that matter, all came to PlayStation instead. So, like, Nintendo lost out on that. You know, and that kind of went into the GameCube. Again, they didn't fully embrace DVD-ROM. They went with their own, like, kind of like tiny CDs. So the GameCube didn't sell extremely well. N64 didn't sell extremely well. And that's what led to the Wii. Like, Nintendo were like, right, look, this isn't working for us, you know? Like, because the one thing they were doing, in spite of all that, was like, they were still, like, they were powerful consoles. Like, they were powerful consoles all the way up to the GameCube. Just look at how, like, Mario's face and the world around Mario 64. Like, in Mario 64, if you look at Mario, the character model, up close, like, you can actually, like, use the camera angle to look, like, you can literally look at Super Mario's face up close in Super Mario 64. You look at the world around it. Then you look at, like, Chris Redfield up close and personal, or even like Metal Gear Solid, or literally like even like Spyro. You know, like there's a massive visual quality difference between those two consoles and those two games, irregardless of Nintendo's decision not to go with CD-ROM technology. What the advantage of going with CD technology meant that you could have more content, and you could have music, and you could have video in your games. But as far as the visual fidelity was concerned, N64 was superior. Same with the GameCube. The GameCube was the more powerful console at that time. But Nintendo was still like doing things their own way, like differently. So people navigated to PlayStation 2, Xbox, and that went on with the because the Wii was just the biggest. Like Nintendo just went in a completely different direction with the Wii. Like they didn't care about specs anymore. They weren't even interested in like what the other companies were actually doing. They just really just did their own thing, you know, and quite literally changed gaming overnight. Changed what a game is, who the gamer is, and how they play that game. You know, like it or hate it, is what it is. They tried to follow the success of the Wii while appealing to people who prefer PlayStation and Xbox, and they did a really terrible job communicating that, and that's what led to the failure of the Wii U. So that was quite a long history, wasn't it? But look at how things have turned around with the Switch. All I'm going to say is this: Mortal Kombat 1 is coming to Nintendo Switch. I don't need to say anything else as far as like how things have turned around for Nintendo. Well, I could say the fact that Tears of the Kingdom sold 12 million in 3 days, and I could talk about the fact that the Switch has sold, I think it's like over 100 million now. It's well past it, I think, isn't it? Something like that, like 130 million or something like that. Like, it's a massive success. So anyway, look, this is my point, right? Considering how successful the Switch is, right? This is basically like I'm going to make my point now. Considering how successful the Switch was for Nintendo, like clearly the concept of Switch is extremely appealing. Like people get excited, like people genuinely get excited when something like Batman Arkham Trilogy comes to Switch. Even though those games have been out for years, people get excited when these like third-party games that have been out for years across other platforms come to Switch. Why? Think about it. It's not very hard, is it? It's because they can play their games anywhere, anytime. Yes, we have a Steam Deck. Why do we have a Steam Deck? Because of the success of Switch. That's why we have. Did we have Steam Deck in 2017? No, because nobody was doing it. The fact of the matter is, the concept of playing your games anywhere, anytime, is a successful concept. It has proven successful for Nintendo. So for them to, I actually have to laugh sometimes when people say, there's no guarantee that Nintendo are going to follow up this. Fuck off. That's just clearly somebody who just doesn't like the Switch. That's just someone who wants Nintendo to go back to the Super Nintendo days. That's not happening. Get over it. Nintendo no longer player power. They don't care about specs. They're not really that interested in what Sony and Nintendo are doing spec-wise. They're going to continue doing their own thing, and they're not going to deviate away from Switch. The concept of Switch, again, as I said, has been massively successful. Massively. And because of that success, they are able to make games that were formerly niche games, I would consider. Like Xenoblade Chronicles, I would consider that to be a niche game before Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3 released. They sold extremely well on Switch. Bayonetta 3 sold extremely well on Switch. No More Heroes 3 sold extremely well on Switch. And those are just like kind of like lesser known, like kind of like you know, like second party Nintendo games, if you know what I mean. But now you have like Pikmin 4, which debuted #1 in the UK and Japanese charts, and sold more than Pikmin 3. Pikmin 4 is going to become the first universal, like mainstream Pikmin game. And there's other games as well. I mean, like Yoshi games, Kirby games. Like, Nintendo are introducing Nintendo IPs to new audiences because of the success of Switch. So from a business perspective, like, Nintendo are not stepping away from the concept of what the Switch is. They will expand upon it. I'm not Nintendo, we're not Nintendo. We don't design hardware, we don't get that side of things. We come up with like what we would love to happen, but we don't have the creative, like, skills that, like, you know, people who work in the gaming industry have. You know, that's down to Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft. But those are the people who have the ideas, not us. But you can be sure that Nintendo, like, they're not just going to give you a Switch Pro. They're not just going to give you, here's a Switch in 4K, enjoy. Like, they're going to take the concept, the idea of what they did with Switch and expand upon it, because that's what Nintendo have been doing, and every company has been doing forever. Because if you look at what Nintendo did with the NES, what was the concept? What was the overall concept of the NES? Taking your arcade experience home. That's why it was crowned home console. It was a gaming experience at home. So what did you do? Make those games look better. Make those games play better. So your gaming experience at home was enhanced. They added more buttons into the controller. They gave you more different type of games. N64 comes along. For the first time, Mario is moving in any and every direction in a full 3D space. His model is 3D. The world around him is 3D. That was huge. And that is still, like, that became like the blueprint of gaming. That is a massive statement to make, but it's true. That's a massive statement. It was Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time were literally the blueprints of modern gaming. Some people will not like that. Some people will choose not to agree with that. But look, I can say the sky isn't blue, but it's blue. You know, that was revolutionary. What did they do? They expanded upon that. They made games, because bear in mind that they were playing with specs back then. So that they made the worlds more detailed because of the specs of that. So that they're just, what they're going to do is, it's not, look, it's tough really to predict what Nintendo are going to do next, but I would predict that they would basically enhance and add to the experience of playing your games anywhere, anytime. Maybe to the point where, I'm trying to think about this now. Maybe to the point where, you know how the Wii U had the Wii U gamepad and the TV interacting with each other separately. So you had this, what did I call it again? What did I call it again? Where two people have two different experiences in the one game. Oh god, I forget what it's called. But in Zombie U, which was a Wii U launch title from Ubisoft, there was this multiplayer mode in the game where, like, player one would be like sitting in front of the TV and looking at the TV screen and using the Pro Controller, and they would be running away and surviving an onslaught of zombies and monsters that player two would be spawning into the game from the Wii U gamepad. So they would have the Wii U gamepad in their hand, and because the Wii U gamepad had a screen, and that was a big thing for the Wii U, by the way, remote play. For the first time, you could play your games off the TV. So player 2 would have the screen in front of them on the Wii U gamepad, and they would be able to use a touch screen and stylus to basically like spawn all these zombies and monsters onto the TV screen to basically make player 1's life a miserable hell. It was a cool concept, and it was a cool game as a result. Now, let's take that concept. Because obviously the Switch took the concept of the Wii U gamepad to the next level and said, right, well, we're going to basically make the Wii U gamepad the console. And it'll be universal. And the Switch is basically what happened there. But what if they took the concept of the concept of two players having two different experiences on the one game to the next level? And what if on the Switch 2, if one player decided to I don't know what I'm saying, sorry. Okay, well, just hear me. I know because obviously the Switch is portable, but just I think I've walked myself into a hole here. See, this is why there's people at Nintendo who are good, and why they brainstorm, and why there are people who shoot down idiots like me. What I was going to say was, what if you had, so what if player 1 was playing, let's say, Mario Kart 9 on Switch 2 in front of the TV screen, and player 2 was on the bus using a mobile device, and they could, like, using their Nintendo Network account, could, like, log into a mobile aspect of Switch 2. So you own the game. First of all, you have to own the game, right? So you own the game. Your Nintendo Network recognizes the fact that you own this game, and this basically mobile aspect of the Switch 2 is an app that you download, but you have to own the Switch 2 and link it to Nintendo Network to have access to it. So you basically, with this app, you log into this mobile aspect of Mario Kart 9, and all of a sudden, you, even outside of multiplayer, it will still use the internet, but it won't be multiplayer. Let's say player 1 is racing around, and all of a sudden, like, ink appears on the screen. But player 2 has done this on his mobile phone on the bus. I know the Switch is portable, and I know you could probably do that anyway on the Switch. Or maybe that's what you can do. Maybe you can do that and a mobile device. Because why we didn't have a Switch with you? Because let's face it, sometimes we don't bring a Switch with us. But what if you could use your mobile device to still do something to interact with, you know, a friend that was playing it, or something like that. Anyway, I don't know. But they're definitely going to expand. They're definitely going to expand what they're going to do. I think I'll just put myself to sleep, to be honest. I can imagine what I've done to my viewers. They're probably in the coma. But I like this. I actually successfully predicted the Switch, but to be fair, like, it wasn't really a blind prediction, right? It was more of looking at an official Nintendo trademark and kind of breaking that down, you know, and kind of coming to the conclusion of what I'd seen of the trademark, that it was going to be some sort of like universal gaming experience where your games would go where you go. So I did predict it, but yeah. It's hard to say. Nintendo have been playing around with, well, apparently, like they have been looking into, like foldable screens, like literally like being able to fold the screen. Like you can do that with certain phones now. Like, what if you could kind of like make the Switch as portable as you wanted it to be? So like, it can be like, yeah, it can be whatever size or shape you want it to be. So if you wanted to play like a game vertically, like sitting on a bus, you could do that. If you wanted to, do you know what I mean? I don't know what I mean. I don't even know what I mean, and I'm asking people, do you know what I mean? Oh my god. Yeah, I'm asking, do you know what I mean? Because I fucking don't. But that's an actual process though in business when coming up with ideas for products and services is brainstorming. So like, I literally what I'm doing is no different to what I'm predicting as opposed to brainstorming, but kind of similar in a way. But it's fun though. It's fun to do this from time to time. I don't know. I think it's more fun. I actually have more fun engaging in this type of behaviour than I do in fucking like just blindly listening to rumours and leaks and then reporting on those rumours and leaks. Like you see a lot of YouTubers just literally copy and pasting what someone else said. Well, I'm a Nintendo YouTuber, so it's my job to report. And how about you do something different? How about do something? I mean, these people have a lot more viewers than I do. These people can reach a lot more people than I can. Why don't they just do what I'm doing and just like make a fun prediction? Like you don't have to state it to be a fact. I mean, you can be sure as fuck these people who are reporting on rumours and leaks don't, you know, like don't do enough to emphasise that it's not a fact. You know? But just come up with like, these fun predictions. You know, and just like talk about like, what could happen with the Switch 2, you know? I believe the new stuff with touchscreen like the phones. Yeah, that's just what I mean, like something like that, like, you know, something like that, where like someone who has a phone, what about someone who doesn't even have a Switch? Oh, wait a second. We gotta pause. I have the end of the live stream after this. What if, shit, how do we actually just stop the music completely? There we go. Right, okay. Bear with me now on this one, even though it's almost 2 a.m. in the morning. Bear with me on this one. Okay. One thing Nintendo has always tried to do, like since they entered the gaming industry, but particularly as I mentioned earlier, from the Wii onwards, is to appeal to casual gamers. Some people hate that. They hate the term casual gamers. They hate when like they hear that Nintendo are appealing to casual gamers. Listen, if you make a video game aware to a casual gamer, there's a process involved. For the first time, they become aware of gaming. Okay, they experience gaming. They get a feel for gaming, and they say, you know, this game is really appealing to me. I really want to be able to play this, and they do. And fast forward a couple of years down the road, they're a gamer, and they're therefore are a Nintendo customer, and they buy Nintendo products. That's the benefit of appealing to casual gamers. Going around, like, you know, beating your chest, oh, we make hardcore games, oh, you're only appealing to hardcore gamers. Your market is only going to be those people. Whereas a company who appeals to everyone is going to have, well, like, ideally, it's going to have, like, a large audience. So it makes sense to appeal to casual gamers. Anyway, so what if, and no, bear in mind, not only have they been doing that for years and years and years, but in recent years, Nintendo have moved into the mobile market, like actual like mobile smart devices. So they have like Super Mario Run, Pikmin Bloom, Pokemon Go, etc. Fire Emblem Echoes. So what they're doing is they're allowing casual gamers who would have never played video games before or interacted with Nintendo um, franchises for the first time. They're putting Mario into these people's hands through phones. So somebody who doesn't even own a console or a Nintendo console is playing Mario, Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing as well, um, Pikmin for the first time. So therefore, they're aware of Mario and they're aware of Nintendo's intellectual properties. Now, apply that to, let's say, a feature, a service of the Switch 2, which is essentially anyone can interact with the Switch 2 and their games, well, it's particularly the games, even if they don't own a Switch 2. The only thing they would need is a Nintendo Switch account, or sorry, a Nintendo account. So you have the Nintendo account, and let's say you download some type of app, Switch 2 app. Let's just call it that for now. Switch 2 app. And as you had an interesting idea there, being able to do stuff on the touchscreen. So a bit like what I said earlier about Mario Kart 9, like somebody who doesn't even own the Switch 2, doesn't even own, let's say they doesn't even own Mario Kart 9, but they can log in to this app, and if they know someone who has the game, or even just join random people's games, and just being able to interact with what they're doing in some kind of way. Basically being able to see what they're doing, but not just seeing what they're doing, not just going onto YouTube and watching Switch 2 streams and watching Mario Kart 9 streams and saying, oh, this looks cool, but being able to actually get a feel for that themselves, like being able to have some taste of the product. So not only will that be fun for people and engaging for people, but it would actually allow them to get a feel for the game, get a feel for the product, and eventually possibly become a customer, buy the Switch 2 and buy the game. I think that would be quite interesting. But just, yeah, something like that where, like, irregardless of whether you have a Switch on you or not, irregardless of whether you have the game or not, just being able to just do something on your mobile, because everyone has a mobile device, like, so I don't know, but I think they need to go above and beyond that, like. But I think no matter what, as I wrap up the live stream, no matter what though they do, it's like, if you stop and think of it, right, it's a bit like saying, okay, let me just say this, right. I see things like consoles have changed so much recently, I guess. So. It's a bit like saying that the only thing the Wii U is going to do is have motion controls and slightly better graphics. When in reality, what we got is a brand new controller with its own screen. So it's kind of like saying, like, oh, the SNES is, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying really, but the reality is it's not just, like, they're obviously going to continue with, like, the hybrid console, but they will improve upon, like, the actual console. I mean, obviously they're going to have, like, graphics that are better than the Switch. It'll be somewhere in between, PS4 and PS5, is what I would think. Okay, it's gone way too late, so I'm going to end the live stream now. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next live stream.